Well, it's Monday. Good morning. How you doing? How's your Monday morning going? Well, what am I going to get into today? First of all, little one needs some more of his chicken jerky. So I'm going to cut some more chicken jerky. And then I'll see what else I'm going to get into. So just hang in there with me and let's see what I'm going to do. My hair's still partially wet from the shower, so it's still down. So let's see what we can get into. Get you a cup of coffee, warm drink, cold drink, and join me. Let me get my hands washed. Hope it's not too bad where you're at. I hope that you were not in the path of the tornadoes or hurricanes. Let me see if I can get a little one here, a ball. No, I'm just going to ignore him. He's being very needy this morning. And good news. I'll have to share this with you. He is going to have a playmate. We have picked out a little female Maltese puppy, and she will be ready the end of the month. And we'll see if some little noodles will do the trick this morning. And she is gorgeous. And she's in the right weight. He's around 7.5 pounds. He may top out around 8 pounds. And her parents are 6 pounds and 8 pounds. So that's right in the weight range. So I'm very happy to say I'm glad. Salam. Hi, good morning. So I'm very happy to say that we're excited that we're going to be getting another Maltese, a female, and they will be mates. So we did all of the genetic background checking to make sure that there's no relation anywhere in their background. And she is adorable. She's right now 4.5 weeks old. So it'll be around the end of this month when we go to pick her up. Hi. Good morning. Wow. Good morning from... What are you doing? Well, this morning, I'm going to make some chicken jerky, all natural chicken jerky strips that are dehydrated, treats for my Maltese puppy. He loves the store-bought ones, and they're very, very expensive. And so I tried making some, and he absolutely, positively loved them. Loved them. So I'm going to show you how simple and easy it is. I just subbed. Oh, well, thank you. And I'm new at this, so if I don't keep up with chat, please don't get angry with me. I'm trying. Okay, I'm going to move you over here and show you how simple and easy this is. Let's see if I can get you set up there. Move you back a little bit. There. Okay, I just need you to be able to see my cutting board. and what I'm doing here this morning. And right now I'm giving Ryder some noodles. How's your hair so long? What shampoo do I use? Tresemme. I use the Tresemme. Nice kitchen. Now this is the half of the kitchen that we have not got remodeled yet. We're still working on remodeling. We do have this half remodeled. All of these dark cabinets here, upper and lower, and all of these old countertops will all be coming out. Can you show us? You look cool today, Grandma. Thank you. Okay, this is the old side of the kitchen. You can see the dark cabinets. Okay, now I'm going to back you up. Now over here, you see the light colored cabinets. These are the ones that we have just got installed. The natural hickory, all of the trim, everything's off. It'll have the new lighting. And then this is the new island. And it's all the natural hickory. So this half is all pretty well done. Now this half that I'm in today is the old part. I can see all your food in the fridge. No, why do you want to see all my food in the fridge? Now that's a little personal there. But if you watch my channel, you're going to see there's always food in the fridge. Okay, so now, over here is my dehydrator. This is what I'm going to be using to make the chicken tenders, or chicken jerky. And it's a Magic Meal, and it is a 7700. And it is very compact. I've shown this many times. I absolutely love it. It does an amazing job. So today, I'm going to make some more jerky because I tried it to see what Ryder would think of it. He absolutely, positively loves it. So do we cook chicken today? Today we're doing dehydrated chicken jerky. That like you buy in the store. It's an all-natural chicken jerky that you buy as a T-R-E-A-T. I'm going to spell it because he knows that word very well. And, of course, he is right here with me this morning. Let me see if I can get down here. Where I can... So, yes, he's right here with me this morning. This is Ryder. So we're making the treats for Ryder. Now I'm going to have to wash my hands again. You want some more? More you. I'm behind you washing my hands. I'll be right there in a minute. This is so simple, so easy. They're all natural. So you know exactly what's in them. And Ryder absolutely, positively loves them. No, Bobby. No. Yeah, Mommy can't pick you up, honey. He loves being in the kitchen, but he's just learning kitchen etiquette. So we're still working on it. Can I ask a question? Yes, Sue. What is your question? Now, all I have is just two boneless, skinless chicken breasts. And what I'm going to start doing first is removing all of the fat. Where are you from and how old are you? I'm originally from West Virginia. And I am 62. I will be 63 in December. And my husband is from Ohio. So I'm currently living in Ohio. You're going to hear little one protest. He's learning that whenever Mommy's in the kitchen, he can't be right there on me. You look like my grandma. Aw, do I? I have 4 grandchildren. Okay, so what I do is just remove any extra fat because you don't want that extra fat on there. So, and it's pretty lean, as you can see, very, very lean. So, I just look to see if there's any extra fat on there, and if there is, I'll try and get that removed. And you want to cut with the grain. Still looks like young ma'am. Oh, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and cut these strips, and I'll show you about the thickness. And this dehydrator does an absolutely amazing job. I only picked up 4 of the chicken breast. I started off with 2 the last time. And we did the dehydrating just to see what he would think of them. And I wanted to see how the dehydrator dehydrated them before I did all 4. So now I'm going to do the other 2. I had these frozen. And these are not big chicken breasts. These are pretty thin. So this is about what I'm cutting. Thickness. Sorry, my English is kind of bad because now I'm learning English. It's okay, soup can. So that's about the thickness that I'm cutting them. And I'm just making strips. And I'm going to be putting these in the dehydrator to turn it into all natural chicken jerky for my Maltese puppy. He's 10 months old. And then he will be getting his playmate the end of the month. That is so exciting. It's going to be a little female. She's right now 4.5 weeks old, and she's absolutely, positively gorgeous. Gorgeous. So if and when we would ever want to breed them, they are not related in any way. We've had everything checked. And they will both be registered. So if down the road we would want to do something like that, we would have that opportunity. Okay. So I only have the 2 breasts this morning. I'm going to kind of pat that one. It's a little bit slick. I don't want the knife to slip. So basically I'm just doing the same thing. I'm just removing any fat, any extra fat. Because you don't want that in your dehydrator. And these turn out great. Is this chicken for your dog? Yes. Yes. I buy the all-natural chicken jerky, and it's very expensive. It's about $40 to $50 a bag. So I have the dehydrator, and I've been trying it out, and I thought, well, what if I can try to make them myself and see how they turn out, and see what my dog thinks of them. So I did some the other day, and if you go back and look at some of my lives and my shorts, you'll see how they turned out. And they turned out really, really nice. And again, I'm just cutting strips of boneless, skinless chicken breast. And I'm going to dehydrate these and turn these into jerky, chicken jerky, all natural for my dog. This way I know what all's in it. I know it is all natural. And he absolutely preferred the ones that I did compared to the ones that we bought at the store, or ordered. We had to order them online. And the ones online were very expensive. They were $40 or $50 for the bag. And I just put these, when they were done, I let them completely cool. And I put them in a mason jar with a oxygen absorber, and they stayed very fresh. Of course, I did make sure that they were completely dehydrated. And they were. Just going to leave that one like that. They dehydrated in about 2.5 hours. And I'm just cutting these with the grain so they're not tough. And there is my chicken slices. So now I'm going to just put them over onto a rack. And I did space them out really good the last time, and that worked very well, so I'm going to just do a repeat. About like so. But they turned out absolutely, positively amazing. It's very quick and easy to make. Nothing hard about it at all. And I think I can do 4 chicken breasts pretty easy, about this size, in this dehydrator. So if I want to make more the next time, I know that this dehydrator will hold at least 4 boneless, skinless chicken breast. But this was our trial. So I didn't want to overdo it, just in case he didn't like it. So I did 2, and then I froze these, and now I've thawed them back out, and I'm just running them through the dehydrator. And that way I know I've got them spaced out really good. There's plenty of room. Thin like pork. Yes, I did it very thin. They're about that thick. I don't want it too thin. Okay, now this is not cooking, this is dehydrating. This is a dehydrator. So let me wash my hands here real quick. Put all this over here. Let me toss this and I'll be right back and wash my hands. And this is what I'm using. See you next time. Love you, Grandma. Thank you. I'm using the Magic Meal dehydrator. And this is the new one that I got that I've been using to dehydrate all my vegetables and things with. And it has been absolutely wonderful. And I'm going to use the same setting that I used the last time. And this one does not have a recipe for chicken jerky, but it does have a recipe for beef jerky. So I'm using the same setting as the beef jerky. And it says 150 for 5 hours, but I'm going to do it for two and a half hours, and then I'll check it and see where that is. So we'll go ahead and set it. For 2.5 hours, and at 158. And I'm going to start that. So that's all there is to it. It's that easy, that simple. There's nothing much to it at all. Just cut your strips. Make sure you get all the fat trimmed off, because you don't want to dehydrate that fat. So if you get the boneless, skinless chicken breast and trim all the fat off, and then you cut it with the grain. You don't want to cut it against the grain, because if you cut it against the grain, it's going to be more tough. And I cut it with the grain the last time, and it took approximately 2.5 hours. And so I set this on 2.5 hours, and I'm going to see where this, how this turns out. My husband absolutely loved it. He said he thought that it was very nice. He knew that it was all natural. He knew it was what I had purchased and I had made. There was no chemicals or nothing added to it. So he said, you know, the pup loved it. So for the last 2 days, my husband's been saying, Mr. Z says, have you made the pup his chicken jerky? I said, not yet. I'm going to go ahead and just wipe this down real good. And then I can get moving on to the next thing. So what else is on my agenda? We're about to find out. Give me 1 second to toss this and I will be right back. If you've been watching me, you've been seeing me go through my freezer and refrigerator rotations before we go camping. So I have been rotating all of my hamburgers and everything so I can go back and do another large grocery haul. Because I know when I do that, that's going to be for here at home, stocking both of these freezers, and it will be for me to take camping when we go camping. And that has been set back a few weeks. I'm not really sure when we're going to exactly go camping. But I thought I would try this out. And what is this? I bet you're wanting to know. Well, I'm about to show you. This came from Temu, and no, I'm not affiliated with Temu in any way. I'm just picking up a few extra things that I've looked at and had my eye on, and then I thought, well, you know, we're renovating the kitchen. I'll have a little more room, so I picked up a few items. So this is one of the new ones that come in, and you probably hear my washer going in the background. Whoops. Let's see if I move you over here if that's a little more sturdy. There, that might be a little more sturdy there. So, this is one of the newer items that I got. I have not used it yet. Very simple. Does it say what it is? No. I'm sure you already know what this is. This is very nice. I was really surprised. I wanted one that was small. I didn't want one that was big. So it's very small. It's very heavy. I really like it. And so I am going to, as I'm doing my freezer rotation, I'm going to be making just some basic spaghetti sauce today. So when I do, I thought, well, my herb garden will be coming back up, and I still have a few herbs from last year. Hi, Heina. And I have not ground these up or done anything with them. This was some of the oregano. Hopefully you can see that. Some of the oregano that I dehydrated. I grew in my little herb garden out on the deck. And then here's some of the parsley. And they both turned out absolutely beautiful. So I thought today, whenever I'm making my spaghetti sauce, I would try this out. And I just want to grind it a little bit and then just add it to my spaghetti sauce. Just basically to see if this is going to be the right size. Because with it only being my husband and I do not make really large batches. So I wanted one that was small. And as you can see, this one's small. It's not very big. If I hold my hand up, that'll give you a comparison. Very tiny. And that's what I was looking for. So, I'm going to try this out making some spaghetti sauce. Using some of my homegrown herbs. Some of the oregano and parsley. So that's what I'm going to do here in just a little bit. So this is going to be one of my projects I'm working on today. So now, another thing I want to talk about. Whenever you're ordering, you look at something and you're ordering it and you say, oh yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Here's an example. I was looking for a new grill cover for my hubby's, for Mr. Z's grill. The other one has held up for over, I think, about 11 years. So it needed to be replaced. So I got online and I ordered. And I said, well, that looks really nice. It says it's waterproof. It says it's heavy duty. Do you see this? Do you see this? This is what came. This is the cover. In its little bag. Can you see that? It's no thicker than this bag that it came in. No thicker than that. Okay? And it's supposed to be a heavy duty, waterproof grill cover. See the size of that, right? So then I seen it. I put it on my grill. And I was like, no, that is not going to work. So I got back online and I ordered from a different place. This is the second one. The same thing. So this is the second one, still in its bag. The other one's out on the grill. I'll show you in just a minute. I said, okay, maybe strike three. This is a heavy-duty grill cover. See the difference? Can you see what I'm saying? This is heavy-duty, waterproof grill cover. I was looking at the collar, thinking that was what I was needing with this one and the one previously. No, this is the heavy duty grill cover. So, does anybody else experience this when they're ordering stuff? I do, and I hate it when it happens. But, you know what? It happens. So I thought, I'll just keep this, and I'll take the other one off the grill as soon as it dries up enough because of all the rain. And I kept the other bag, and I'm going to put it back in the bag. And I am going to take these two little ones to the camper. And when we purchase the grill for the camper, these will be sufficient for when the grill is out. And then we will be storing the grill along with a cover in out of the weather when we're not using it. So would this work for camping? Yes. This is what I was looking for our large grill. Now, I will show you what this little thin grill cover ended up looking like. Now it's liable to get loud. I gotta go back by the washer. And it's gonna get dark. There, can you see that grill cover? It looks nice on a picture, but it is very thin. Will it work for camping? Maybe, yes. But would I want that on this? Even though my deck is covered over top of it, it's still going to get weather. Can you see that open space? So I want something that's going to be heavy duty. And I live close to other people, so I'm trying not to expose their home. So this is what I ordered, thinking, boy, that looked nice on a picture. But, and as you can see, there's the old hot water tank. But here is the covers that I have on my deck. Do you see these? Heavy. That is what I was looking for. That kind of a cover. And this feels like plastic, sounds like plastic. This is a heavy canvas. So, next time, note to self, check the material. Check the material. Okay, coming back in by the washer. Sorry, it's loud. It is laundry day. I do my bed clothes on Monday. So, that's another thing that I wanted to discuss this morning. Yes, thin like plastic. Yes. Very thin. So, I have my chicken jerky now on. I've discussed the grill cover problem. But with us camping, we're going to have a grill. And it'll be out while we are there. And this will work okay. And now that I have two of them, I might as well use them. And I did save the other bag that the one that's on the grill came in. So whenever I can get that one dried out, I will change over to the heavy duty canvas grill cover, which is what I was looking for when I purchased the other one. As you can see, that is just like the canvas covers on the rest of my deck. So it took 3 tries. The one out there, the second one that I thought, okay, this time I got it right. No. Then the right one. So that's something I wanted to address. So I just didn't know if other people do the same thing. When you're ordering, does it look like what you want? And it's not what you wanted at all. See, I'm glad that my hubby, Mr. Z, gave me a few more weeks to get ready to go open the camper, because I'm still working on all this stuff here. And I needed an extra week to get one simple thing right. Order a replacement heavy duty grill cover. Canvas grill cover. Canvas. Not plastic. I don't know that it is plastic. It has this little liner in, so it probably will be waterproof. It will probably be great for the grill that we have at the camper, because when we're done camping, of course, we'll be putting the grill inside and out of the weather until we get back to camp again. So that will work, yes. But one heavy wind, and I can just see this tearing. I can really see this tearing. That's why I like the heavy duty canvas. But this will work for camp, and I will have 2 of them. This one and the one that's on the grill right now currently. So that's been addressed. Okay, so now I'm going to move over here, and I'm going to wash my hands one more time, and I'm just going to make some basic spaghetti sauce. And that way, whenever I'm ready for dinner, all I have to do is make my noodles, my pasta, and make some Texas toast, and a dessert for Mr. Z, and I'm going to have dinner. So I'm doing my freezer rotation, so I'm trying to move all my hamburger, my ground beef. So I'm going to just turn my ground beef into some spaghetti sauce. So wash my hands again. Oh, and by the way, let me show you this. Normally when you see my range, you're not seeing the griddle. This did come with the range, and I had never used it. So I thought I would try it and make some steaks for Mr. Z yesterday, because I wanted to see if I was going to like that grill or griddle, and how easy was it going to be to clean up, because it is really heavy and it is cast iron. So this is after making 2 ribeye steaks yesterday. As you can see, it cleaned up very nice. It is all cast iron, and my range has the centerpiece that is for the griddle. So I wanted to see, how did this work? What did I think of it? I was going to grill out on the grill, but it just did not quit raining all weekend. So I made him a ribeye steak and myself a ribeye steak. Did this clean up very nice? Absolutely. This was a very nice addition to the stove. I've never used it, and I've had this range for over a year. Once I got done With my steaks, while this was still warm, I added some ice and let the ice kind of melt over it, and used a spatula and lightly scraped, and then took a paper towel and wiped all that off. And this cleaned up absolutely amazing. After I got all that off of there, I just added a little bit more water and done the cleaning, and it cleaned up absolutely amazing. And if you would have seen it yesterday, you would have said, oh my goodness, because the steaks were seasoned. They had A1 sauce. They had Montreal steak. So this looked like, oh, this is really going to be hard to clean. Was it hard to clean? Absolutely not. It cleaned up amazing. So will I be using my griddle some more? I absolutely will. I can see French toast on this. I can. So I'm going to go ahead and put that away. And why do I not keep it on the range? Let's see if I can kind of give you an idea here. When your griddle is on the range, you barely have space for your iron skillets or frying pan. It doesn't completely cover your burner. So that's why I store the griddle. Is it a very nice addition to have? Absolutely. Will I be using it from here on out? Absolutely. So I'm going to just store this down below with my other cast iron. And there it is. Gives me so much more room without it being there, so that's why I automatically stored it. Did you remember me? Hi, Grandma, I'm back. Catarina. Yes, good morning. Yes, I remember you. Welcome back. So today I'm just making a basic spaghetti sauce to use up some more of my ground beef. Nothing special. I already have some onions diced, so I'm going to use them. And I have a half a green pepper, so I'm going to go ahead and dice it. And I'm just going to put my burger in here to let it start browning. This is basic ground beef. But I thought, well, while I'm in the kitchen this morning, I might as well make my sauce. And then all I have to do is make my pasta and my Texas toast and heat up the sauce when I'm ready, and it will be dinner. So I'm just going to chop that up a little bit. I'm going to turn that on low and let that start browning. And then I can get some more of my freezer rotated. Use up more of the ground beef. And I'm accomplishing something else this week. So this morning it is bed linens. And I'm making spaghetti sauce. And I'm dehydrating chicken jerky strips for my Maltese puppy. So let me get another cutting board. And I'm just going to use the small one. And I'm just going to get me a knife. I think I'll use this one. And I'm going to cut me up some green peppers. I'm going to go ahead and use these onions up. And I'm going to go ahead and use my peppers. You know me, I'm always rotating. And I do not like to waste. So I hope your Monday is going good. I hope that you're not in the path of these storms that went through. They were terrible. Terrible. And I am going to go ahead and chop all of this onion, or all of this green pepper, sorry, because tomorrow I'm going to be making Philly steak and cheese hoagies for dinner and french fries. So that way I can use up the rest of my green pepper, because I use onions, green peppers, and mushrooms with my Philly steak cheese. Subs, or subs, hoagies. So, that is what's on my agenda for today. Get some bedclothes done, continue rotation, and try out a new something new in the kitchen. Want to use that to grind up my herbs for the spaghetti sauce. And I have parsley and oregano. And now it is spring and my herb garden's going to be coming back. So I know that I'll be constantly having fresh herbs, and I'll be dehydrating fresh herbs. So that way I'm rotating my fresh herbs as well. And I knew that I grew them. I know exactly. They're all natural. There's nothing added. Trying to make it a little bit healthy for us. And I think it's really nice to be able to just walk out to your little herb garden and pick some fresh parsley, oregano, some thyme. Oh, I love the smell of thyme. I might add a little bit of thyme in this. I don't know. We'll see. Let me see what I think of the parsley and oregano, and then my other things that I do add. I think that'll be plenty for my spaghetti sauce. So I'm just going to brown my burger, and then I'm going to add my onions and my green peppers right in this burger. I'm going to let it all saute together. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. It's getting warm. That way it can all cook down together. You You all may have seen me make a simple, basic spaghetti sauce. I don't do anything special. Just the basics. And I do use the jar store-bought spaghetti sauce. Okay, I'm just going to let that simmer down. Turn it up just a little bit. And I'm just using a traditional Prego. That's what I have here. And I'm rotating my pantries as well. So that's what I'm going to be using. Nothing special. And I'm going to go ahead and chop up my rest of my pepper. And then I will have that tomorrow for the steaks. And I'm just doing them in little strips because it's going to be steak hoagies. And I like a little bit of pepper with my steak hoagies. So I am getting dinner for today, and I'm prepping for dinner for tomorrow. And that way I have used up my lonely half of this sweet pepper. So I'm just going to put that in the fridge. And then tomorrow I'll just need to dice some fresh onions, I'll have my mushrooms that are dehydrated, my white mushrooms. I'll get those out, add some water to them. Let them set for about 15 or 20 minutes, and they'll rehydrate. I'll drain those, and then I'll saute my onions, my peppers, and my mushrooms. And I will make my Philly steak and cheese for dinner tomorrow. So I'm doing 2 days prep in one morning. And I'm just letting this brown. And I don't want it to brown real fast. I want those peppers and onions to saute a little bit. So while that is doing that, I am going to try out if I can't get me a little bit of the parsley and a little bit of the oregano. Heads up, I have not tried this out yet, so you're doing this with me. This is us doing this together. And I know I'm probably going to be messy, so I'm going to lay down a paper towel. And I'm going to grind each one, and I'm just going to put a little bit in each one of these little glass bowls. This is pretty exciting. I've wanted one of these, but every one that I've seen has been really large, and I really didn't want anything large. I just wanted something small and petite, just enough to make a small meal. So I'm going to do the oregano first. And if you go back and watch my lives, I had some herbs and sitting on the deck. And this is when I was showing these herbs when I had just dried them. So yes, these I grew on my little garden deck, which is just very tiny, by the way. And let me get my scissors. I think it was last summer I was sitting on the deck and I was showing the little herb garden that I had. And then I showed these little baggies where I had just dehydrated them. So, I'm going to go ahead and just chop up a little bit. And these turned out so pretty in the dehydrator. I'm hoping that you can see how green that still is. It held its color. Now this was not the dehydrator I have behind me. This was another dehydrator. And I think I showed that on one of my lives. I'm not sure. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to chop some of this up. I don't want the big stems. I'm just putting some of the smaller ones in. And I don't think I'm going to have to grind it too much. The bigger stems, I'm taking out. You know what? I think that's easier if I just take it off and just put it in there. Yes. Much easier. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, this smells. It smells so good. And it's so fresh. It's just like walking out there and getting it off of the our little herb garden fresh. I really like the fact that I can do my own dehydrating. And whenever I want something, it's right there and available. I miss gardening. I can't wait till we purchase a little bit of land and get moved. And then I can do some gardening and have my own chickens. Oh, that'll be so wonderful. But, okay. Can you see that? Can you see how pretty that is in there? That is pretty. And I kept all of my stems. And I just laid them off to the side. Stir my burger here. Kitty, no. I've got a kitty saying, what are you doing in there? No, no, kitty. No, no. No, no, sweetheart. It says, but everybody else comes to the kitchen. Why can't I be in the kitchen? No, no. No, no. Do you see this? Do you see what I'm dealing with? Do you see this? Right here. Do you? Do you see that? My children, my fur babies. Hey, no, 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 baby, no. Back up. You're not allowed up there. He says, but the puppy is allowed. And also in, let's see. By the way, in a land patient with typo title. And also in a land trust. Oh, yeah. Never thought about that. And as you can see, I'm not going to have to do much. This dehydrated. I just want it to be enough that I can just put it. I wanted to try out my new kitchen gadget. Oh, and when I'm breaking that, I wish you could smell. I wish you could smell the aroma. Oh, the oregano smells so good. And I think that's probably about as low as I want to go on that. Let me check here. Make sure I don't have any big pieces. I think I'm really going to like this one. It's small. I think it's really going to serve its purpose. Look how nice that did, just in a few little seconds. My own oregano that I grew in my own my herb garden. Then I dehydrated. And now it's going to become part of the spaghetti sauce. Oregano. I don't want to have too much. So I'm going to stop at that. Then if I think I need a little bit more, I'll add a little more. So now I'm going to add some of the parsley that I grew. And now I'm going to add that. So, this turned out absolutely beautiful. When I dehydrated it, it kept its color nice. Now this I definitely think I'm going to have to cut. Let's see. Oh no, that slid off so nice. Amazing. Very nice. And it really doesn't need that much. Just using the big leaves. Putting the stems to the side. And I'm not really even making much of a mess. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Something will happen. And I'm going to have plenty of parsley and oregano, thyme, chives in my 3-tier garden. Grandma, I'm back. Well, hi, Girl Mart. Welcome back. We are dehydrating some chicken jerky. If you go back to the beginning, we are doing that in the dehydrator, and that is for the pup. I normally buy the big bag of the all-natural chicken jerky, and I think the last time I bought it, it was $40 or $50. So I thought, well, I have a dehydrator, and I did that on one of my lives. We tried the dehydrating the chicken jerky, and the pup absolutely loved it. So Mr. Z's been saying for 2 days, are you making more chicken jerky for the baby? And I said, yes, dear. I cannot just walk in there and make it. I had 4 chicken breasts, and I tried 2. And then I froze 2. So I have to take them out of the freezer, and I have to thaw them, and then I will make him some jerky. So he was very tickled this morning that I'm making chicken jerky for the pup. Goodness. And now here's the parsley. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Hopefully you can see the color. I don't know if this really gives you color very good. See how nice it held color? And we're just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to grind it up a little bit with my new kitchen gadget. And it only takes a couple little stirs. And it all looks like it's meshing up evenly. Awesome. So now we're going to have fresh parsley. How awesome is that? From homegrown. Homegrown, dehydrated, stored since last summer. And now I'm turning it into my herbs and my spaghetti sauce. And that didn't leave much of a mess. So I have oregano and I have parsley. Awesome. And to my surprise, I have very little mess. Isn't that amazing? I have stems and just a little tiny few pieces. That's all we have. So that will be easy, easy, easy. And I know that it's all natural, it's fresh. I grew it myself, I dehydrated it myself. And I'm proud of myself that after looking at these for a long time, I finally broke down and got them, and they are very heavy. They're very well made. It came from Temu, and it was not expensive at all. And I absolutely love the collars. And it is absolutely gorgeous. And it is very tiny. It's not a big one. So it's great for me. It's about the size I need for myself and my husband. Awesome. Awesome. Let me toss this. So there we go. Hopefully me placing them on something white. You can see how pretty those collars are. See how pretty and green? Oops. Get them up there a little bit closer, Tam. There we go. See how pretty and green those are. Fresh. Awesome. I like it a lot. And I'm browning my burger, my onions, and my peppers all together here for the spaghetti sauce. And I don't think I want it any browner than that, so I'm going to stop at that. And I'm going to drain this. I'm just making a simple batch of spaghetti sauce. Nothing big. Nothing fancy at all. Just spaghetti sauce. And now I'm just going to drain the grease. And I want to have my other wet rag ready. Get my hair back out of the way there. Oh, and the new air fryer, I absolutely positively love it. I absolutely positively love it. I made French fries in it the other night, and it turned out great. I'll have to do a review on it, a complete review, and demo maybe. Demo review combo, maybe. It turned out amazing. It does have very high reviews on it, so I was impressed with that. Let's see if I can't get a little bit more of that grease out of there. So I was very impressed with that. And with Mr. Z already having stents in both legs and a new one in his heart, I'm trying to cut him back on fried foods. He's been doing a lot of baked. I do a lot of baked chicken. I do a lot of baking for his meals because of him having the the stents. And he needs to stay away from fried foods. So adding the air fryer, I think, is a very nice addition. Okay, and I'm just using Prego. I've drained that. I've got green onions and peppers. That's it. Or green onions. I'll get this right in a minute. I have onions and green peppers. Oh, goodness. I need a jar opener. Oh, goodness. Got it. And I love these glass jars. I wash these out. And then I sanitize them, run them through the dishwasher, and sanitize them. And if you've been watching any of my dehydrating, these are what I use to put my dehydrated vegetables in. And I just clean them out really good, remove the label, wash them, then run them through the dishwasher, sanitize them. And because it has a seal lid, I can put my dehydrated vegetables in there and an oxygen absorber, and these will save me from using my regular mason jars. So I absolutely love the glass jars. Okay, so I've got some tomato sauce in there. And that does have some herbs in it, so that's why I didn't want to do too many. So now I'm going to add my fresh parsley, my fresh oregano. Oh, how cool is that? I love that. And then I'm going to add some garlic powder. So instead of using my Italian seasoning that I normally would have bought from the store, I'm going to do this and see what I think of this without using the Italian seasoning, and then see if I need to add maybe a little bit of thyme. But I don't want it to be overwhelming. And then I like a sweet spaghetti sauce, just enough to take a little bit of that tang out. So I'm going to add just a little bit of sugar. Maybe about a couple teaspoons. Well, I can't wait to get my deck put together. I walk out there and I see all those covers. And I can't wait to get all those covers off of there. Get my new gazebo top put on. Because I did order a new canvas gazebo cover. I ordered that last spring, I believe. Because we wasn't sure if the gazebo top was going to make it through another summer last year when we put it up, because it had several years I've had it. So before it tore, thank goodness, I did go out and read the label, and I tried to get the exact gazebo top that I had, and yes, it is the exact gazebo top that I had. After, here we go again, after I ordered the first one that looked in the picture exactly like my gazebo canvas top, it wasn't. Mine is you've seen the color of my gazebo. It's a brown, and it's almost got a little bit of a burgundy or something to it. It's not beige. It's a little darker. Well, the first gazebo cover I ordered was almost yellow. And I was like, no, that's not going to work. And my husband said, well, don't. My husband said, don't send it back, because if you need a quick cover, I'm back. Then you'll have that for a backup until you can get another one in. So always keep that for a backup. So he said, even though it's almost a yellow, it'll be all right. I have my do not disturb on and someone was trying to call. Sorry about that. And look what I got in. I got 3 packages. Because if you remember, I was saying the other day that I only had with this dehydrator, it helps if I turn the spaghetti sauce back on. Let me turn that on low. With that new dehydrator, it had 2 trays that, you know, if you wanted to dry liquid. And if you watch the one where I dehydrated the eggs and then turned them into egg powder, these 2 trays are the ones that I used. And I wanted to wait and see how it turned out before I ordered any more. Well, it turned out great. And I do have 2 of these trays. So I ordered 4 more. So what is really nice about this Magic Meal Dehydrator is you can order extra things if you want to. Now they're a little pricey, but you can order them. To get these 4 extra trays, which is these, that's going to give me 6 of these. So if I want to dehydrate 6 trays now instead of 2 trays of eggs, I can do it all at once. So that way, and I like the outcome of the eggs. So yes, I did put the extra money in, and I ordered 4 more. Now I have a total of 6. So, same thing with these. It only came with 2 of the mesh liners. And when I do berries, especially my blueberries, I want to have them on something like this, so that, because when the berries dehydrate, they can shrink down. Even though this is what I'm going to be starting with. And these are the blueberries that I picked from my blueberry bush. And they've been frozen since last summer. And I know in June I'm going to have more blueberries. And right now my blueberry bushes are starting to bloom. So that will give me the rest of this month and May to go through all of my frozen blueberries and make jam and dehydrate. So I only had 2 trays, and I thought, wow, do you know how long that's going to take to go through? I think I have 4 or 6 frozen quarts, maybe 10 frozen quarts of blueberries. And I want to use at least 2 quarts or 4 quarts to make jam. So that's still going to leave me 6 quarts. So I ordered 4 more of these trays. That way I can do 6 trays at a time. And even though those berries look very large, they do shrink. And if you're going to dehydrate any type of berry, you want to freeze them first, especially blueberries, because they're like 90% water. And if you don't, it takes forever for them to dehydrate. But by freezing them, it helps to break the skin, and they dehydrate so much nicer. So I have these ready to run through the dehydration, and now I was waiting on my tray, so I did get 4 more of these. And I thought it was very strange that you could order 4 in the other pack, but these only came in a 2-pack. So now I will have 6 of these trays to dehydrate my smaller things like my strawberries, my blueberries, any of the berries that I want to do, especially the blueberries. And that will give me now 6 trays, mesh trays, and 6 of the lipped trays for dehydrating any type of liquid. If I wanted to make my own powdered milk, I could just get whole milk and pour that on this, dehydrate it, let it dehydrate, and then put it in my grinder and turn it into powder. And I will have my whole milk powder or 2% powder, whichever I'd like to do. And this works absolutely great for eggs. And I think I can actually do 4 to 6 eggs on a tray. That's what I think I've estimated with. And so I'm very happy about that. So I have 4 new deep trays and 4 new packs. Pack comes in 2. 4 new mesh trays. Very excited about that. And of course, I wanted to try this out. It was new, and I thought I'd do it on live and let you see what I thought of it. It's really got a lot of weight to it. It really does. And it didn't take hardly anything for me to turn my herbs into this texture that I wanted. And they smelled so amazing. Let me tell you, if you could have only smelled that parsley and that oregano, and it was fresh in that bag, but whenever I started to grind it up just enough to add it into my spaghetti sauce, oh, it smelled so amazing. So this will be used for herbs. I'm not going to be washing that right now because I am going to be adding some more oregano and parsley to one of the meals I'm making here real soon. And I will just go ahead and put that, actually, let me do it the other way. Put my label on top. Put your label on top. Oh no, you can put your label on the bottom. It's okay. Put your label on the bottom. And this I'm keeping in the styrofoam because I do not want it to get chipped. And like I said, it comes well packed. I absolutely love the collar. And this came from Timo, and I'm very impressed. It was not very pricey, and it came in a styrofoam. Nothing was chipped. It was very well packaged. And so now I will keep it in the styrofoam so that I make sure that I don't accidentally nick it. So that's me putting my herbs to use that I dehydrated last year. And if you look on my live stream, me on the deck, and my herb garden, you will see where I had just picked these, dehydrated these, and I actually showed these bags because they were the first ones that I picked. So I'm rotating my pantries. And what I may do here later is, I don't know, I'm going to wait since I'm going to be using the oregano and parsley in a meal here real soon. I might just wait and not even put these in a small container. But how wonderful is that? Awesome. Awesome. I'm impressed. So, how long have I been on here? About an hour and 25 minutes. So, I've discussed the chicken jerky, and Ryder was very impressed with that. And Mr. Z was very impressed with how he liked it, how well he digested it. He didn't have any problems with it. Of course, I wanted to make sure everything was okay. And he did amazing with it. And then when my husband had the expensive bag of jerky that we ordered and purchased, he had the 2 jars, one with the expensive jerky in it and the one that Mama made. And when he opened the jars, he let Ryder choose. And he went to Mama's jar. So my husband put it away and then tried to get him to go to the other jar. And he kept looking for the jar that had Mama's jerky. So Mr. Z was very impressed. I was very impressed. And apparently Ryder was super impressed. So can you make your own chicken jerky? Yes, you can. Does it take a long time? No, it does not. It only takes your prep time to cut up your chicken strips, and I use the boneless, skinless chicken strips, or chicken breast. Cut up your strips, cut them up evenly. You want them to be as even as you can so they all dehydrate at the same time. And 2.5 hours in my dehydrator. I'm going to check it. Mine called for 5 hours, but I think 2.5 hours is what mine ran the last time. But that was for a beef jerky recipe. That was mine does not have the chicken jerky recipe. So I'm tweaking it and I'm making my own. And if you go back, I did a live on making the chicken jerky, and then a short on how the chicken jerky looked when it was done. And then you could actually see my little one wanting a piece of it, and I gave him a piece, and he kept coming back for more. He absolutely loved it. So I'm going to, I wanted to show, just in case, this is the new air fryer. And it is a Chefman. And it is stainless steel front, metal pan, 18 quart. And this one has the probe. Your meat probe will plug in here on this side. And then you have a place where you can put your string through. Hopefully you can see that. And then straight into your meat. And that will give you an exact temperature. And we did try it out the other night. I'll have to do maybe something and do like a review and trial, so you can see, see me actually using it, see the food and how nice it turned out. My husband was very impressed with the French fries. I just put some French fries in there. I did not add any grease. I did add a liner and just put it in and turned it on the fry button, and they were absolutely perfect. And it has the shake, so whenever the shake come on, I did my shake, put them back in, and my Mr. Z said those were absolutely perfect, Tammy. Perfect. So Mr. Z gave it a thumbs up, and that's hard to get. So yeah, that was good. So, yes, I discussed the chicken jerky. That was one thing. I discussed the herbs. The new kitchen gadget, which worked absolutely wonderful. I love that it's small and petite. Easy to store, heavy, it has a good bit of weight to it. It's absolutely beautiful. It came well packaged, no nicks. Nice quality, nice and heavy. And as you can see, I can hold it like right in the palm of my hand. Perfect size for myself and Mr. Z. All the other ones I was looking at were very large, and they were just too large for me and Mr. Z. So I got that back in the container. I'm going to turn the spaghetti sauce down and just let it simmer here for about 10 or 15 minutes. And I am going to warm up my coffee, and I'm going to go sit down and relax a minute. So yes, we discussed the chicken jerky, and I took you through that the steps that I go through to make the chicken jerky, and how easy that was. The dehydrator is the Magic Chef, and this is the compact, and it is the MFD 7700. And I'm just using the temperature and time for the beef jerky, because it does not have a chicken jerky recipe. So I had to just try it and see what happened. The beef jerky calls it for 158 for 5 hours, turning it halfway in between. And there is nothing for the chicken. But the chicken jerky within 2.5 hours was completely dehydrated, and I did not even have to turn it. So that turned out wonderful. So let me warm my coffee back up. Oh, that spaghetti sauce smells so good. So it smells good, y'all. It's going to be delicious. Oh, and we discussed my little mistake with the grill cover. Oh, yes, the grill cover. I struck out on the first. I struck out on number 2. But I didn't strike out on number 3. Number 3, it's almost like the bears and the chairs. When they had to try out the chairs. Yeah, that's kind of how my shopping for the new grill cover went. Yeah, did not go as planned. Oh, a little one says it's time for him to take a nappy nap. He's so busy. He's a busy little boy. Okay, so I am going to sit down here and relax a little bit before I get too comfortable. Let me turn this big light on. Oh, goodness. He says, Mama, get comfortable. So I can get comfortable. Yes. Here, he says, I need to rest. Oh, and we did discuss the new baby that will be coming. The new female Maltese puppy. And she will be coming the end of the month. She's right now 4.5 weeks old. And I had looked at another female. She was 8 or 8.5 weeks old. Maybe 10 weeks old. And I thought that was the one we were getting. But whenever the gentleman contacted me back, those had already been spoken for. So he did send me a picture of the 2 new ones that he has. And they're absolutely adorable. So we did reserve one of the beautiful little girls. So at the end of the month, I will have 2 puppies. This one, Ryder, just turned 10 months old the first. And he did so well with housebreaking. And maybe he can help train the new little female puppy. I got the little bell that you hang on the door for training. And he, within a week, started going straight to the door, ringing his little bell. And he, no matter where I am, he will ring that bell. And if I don't hear him, he'll come and get my attention. And once he has my attention, he'll go back and ring the bell. So he's been absolutely amazing. So this one is about, I think he's had maybe 2 accidents in 3 months, 2 or 3 months. So I cannot complain. I wouldn't call that 100% potty broken. But he rang the bell and I was back doing laundry and I did not hear him. And then whenever he did come and get my attention, he took me right to where he had had his accident. And he sat down and then took his paw, and I felt so bad that I did not hear the bell. So I'm going to order a second bell. So I'll have one on each door, one back where my laundry area is, and one over into the living room area, entry area. So that way, if he or his new the new female puppy does need to ring the bell, I will have one on each door. And I want to get the same style if I can, so that he will continue to use the little bells. And then when I go camping, of course, I will take my little bells with me as well. So that way, because it's going to be his first camping trip, and with all my misordering, boo-boos, I'm kind of glad that Mr. Z did set things back. So, the grill cover. Hopefully it won't have to be replaced for another 11 years. Hopefully this one holds up as good as the first one did. And I will still use the 2 boo-boos grill covers. And I'll take those camping, and whenever we get the grill for the camper, because we've been looking at some different grills, I will have those 2 lighter weight ones, because whenever we, close up the camper and we're not there, the grill will be covered indoors and out of weather. There won't be any weather at all. And since they're so thin, if one would happen to tear, I will have the second one there to put on until I can order another canvas one for whatever size new grill that we get for the camper. So that's just what happens whenever I order online. Sometimes I get it perfect. Most times, 99% of the time, I can get it perfect. But that 1%, I will strike out. I struck out on the grill cover, not once, twice. Third time I did not strike out, I hit the ballpark. Perfect. And you've seen, if you go back to the beginning of my live, you can see the 2 different ones that I ordered and the 2 different ones that come in. The wrong ones and the correct one. Same thing happened, like I said, when I ordered the new canopy for my gazebo. It said it was canvas. It looked exactly like the one I have, right down to the exact measurements, and then it came in and it almost looked yellow. It's like, no, and I was going to send it back, and my husband said, no, order the right one. Keep this one for a backup, and that way, if something would happen, that we would need an emergency backup to throw up until you can get a new one if we have something scheduled and something would happen, because it is canvas. Storms can happen and they can tear. He's telling on the kitty. I'll get it. He says, Mommy, kitty's on the counter. He's telling on the kitty. He says, Mommy, that kitty's on the counter. No, kitty. No. Kitty, you're not allowed in. Good boy, Ryder. Good boy. Tell him I was a kitty. That's a good boy. Oh, that spaghetti sauce smells so good. It smells delicious. That is so cute. He's telling on his kitty friend. He says, Mom, he's not allowed up there. And now he says, my job is done. I told on him. He was not where he was supposed to be. Not at all. Not at all. Oh, that spaghetti sauce tastes amazing. I'm not going to add anything else to it. I'm going to let Mr. Z taste it. And then he can tell me what he thinks, maybe if I should add maybe a little bit of thyme, or if just the oregano, parsley, garlic powder, and a little bit of sugar, and the natural spices that automatically come. If you look in your jar, and I use the Prego, it does come with, let me turn my timer off. Sorry about that. I'll set my timer for 10 minutes and I'll let that simmer for another 10 minutes. So my spaghetti sauce now is ready. All I'll have to do is make my pasta. I'll put my spaghetti sauce over into a container. And then come dinner time, all I have to do is just heat my spaghetti sauce back up. Cook me some pasta and put some Texas toast in the oven, and I have dinner. So now the only question is, what am I going to make Mr. Z for dessert? And then I was looking in the kitchen. He has one lonely piece of his streusel swirl bundt cake left. So I'm not going to make him another dessert because he still has that one lonely piece of bundt cinnamon swirl cake. So I'm going to call that dessert for Mr. Z. So, and then I also got the extra green pepper that I had left over today. That half a green pepper, I used half part of that in my spaghetti sauce. And I chopped the other up for my Philly steak and cheese tomorrow. And again, I'm doing rotation. So I used up the chopped onions that I have. So tonight, or tomorrow, I'll chop some fresh onions, dice some fresh onions, some green peppers that I've already got ready, my Philly steak meat, and all I have to do is just lay out my Philly steak meat and let it thaw out. And then I'll have it thawed out for tomorrow, and my mozzarella cheese. And then about 20 minutes before I go to fix dinner, I will rehydrate some of my onions, my white, or not onions, my white mushrooms. I'll put them in some water and let them rehydrate. And I will have fresh mushrooms. So I'll have mushrooms, green peppers, and onions for my Philly steak and cheese. And I have grated Mr. Z some pepper jack. He likes pepper jack, so his is already grated. I have some mozzarella that is frozen, so I'm going to bring it out today. Put it in the refrigerator and let it thaw. And I have some of the hoagie meat, the steak, hoagie steak meat. So I'm going to bring some of it out and set it in the refrigerator. So I have done a meal prep for today and for tomorrow. So that's 2 meals. Awesome. Awesome. And I'm doing bedclothes today. And anytime I'm doing bedclothes, it takes up a lot of my day. You know how it is when you're doing bedclothes. You've got sheets and pillowcases and blankets and mattress liners. And so on Mondays, I like to do something pretty easy and simple. So, because I'm going to be tired by the end of the evening. So I already have my spaghetti sauce made this morning. I thought since I would be in the kitchen making this precious little boy his chicken jerky, that I would go ahead and put on some spaghetti sauce. So now I've got a little kitchen cleanup to do. And of course, since it was chicken, I want to go through and get everything cleaned up and scrubbed really good and get everything bleached and sanitized and put back together so I can do my kitchen cleanup when I hop off the phone or off the live, should I say. And I will have my morning way underway. So, did I get into something this morning? I did. Was it exciting? No, not really. Was it exciting for me? Yeah. I got to try out a new kitchen gadget that I bought. And it's something I've been looking at for years. And I would always just take mine and either put it in a little grinder and zap and grind it, or I'd just lay it out on a counter and put it between a paper towel and take the little hammer and just mush it. And I thought, well, I've seen that, and I believe it was at Temu, and it was really inexpensive, and it was very small, and that's what I was looking for, because all the ones that I had seen were so big, and I really don't need it. I might get another set a little bigger, because I really do like this set. So I may invest in another one that's just a little bigger. So if I do want to make a large batch, if I have a lot of my herbs that are dehydrated and ready to be stored, instead of storing them in the little baggie like I did this time, I can go ahead and maybe get a larger one and just, grind them up a little bit and then put them in my own little jars, and then I can put my herb name on there if it's oregano, and then if it's 2025, I can write 2025, and I can start my own stockpile of all of my own herbs. So I think that's very exciting. Very exciting. And it is almost time for us to start getting our herb gardens ready. And I went out and put new topsoil in my little herb garden. And I got the little herb garden in here, the starter kit that I started. And it's chives, oregano, and parsley. And then my cucumbers, my cucumber plant, my beefsteak tomato, and my cherry tomato plants are all growing. And those I started from seedling little seeds from the little starter kits that I had. And I've had those starter kits for probably 3 or 4 years now. And I thought, wow, I'm just going to go ahead and use those up. Just get them out of my way, and then that way, instead of them being in the long box, which they were in a little box, and each one of the little clay pots were stored, this way, once I get them moved out of these clay pots, I can stack my little clay pots, and then I'll have them for going into next spring, whenever I start my new starter seeds again. And that way I'm rotating all of that. So that's about all I have this morning. That's about all I'm going to get into. So I hope that wasn't too boring. And I did take you through to show you how easy it was to make the chicken jerky. If you want to make your own dog treats, it is healthy, it is safe. And Ryder is very, very picky, and he absolutely loves the homemade jerky versus the expensive. And I think it's the bag I got's about this big. It's a lot. It will hold probably 6 or 8 quart mason jars. The one I purchased, and it was about $40. And it looks like this. And here's one batch that I put in. And if I broke it down, I'd have about 6 of these. And as you can see, it is packed. But they were running about $40 for the bag of chicken jerky. So I thought, well, why don't I try to make it myself, since I have the dehydrator and I have a little bit of time, and it doesn't seem like it would be that hard to do. So I did watch some videos on YouTube and seen people dehydrating it in the oven. Um, there may have been one or two that was attempting the dehydrator, but I didn't actually get to see the follow-ups on, what did their pet think of it? How was it for their digestive system? Um, and like I said, my husband took the 2 pint jars, the one with mom's homemade and the one with the expensive store, or the expensive one that we bought, all natural. And he put them both down, and Ryder would go to the one that mom made, and he would take his paw and tap it. And then when my husband put the lid back on it and moved it to the side, he went over and he again smelt the one that I had purchased, and then turned around and was looking for the jar. And then when he found it on his dad's lap, he came up and he took his paw and was wanting that jar. So Ryder chose the all natural that I made, I dehydrated, over the expensive all natural that I purchased. However, I am going to keep mason jars with the all natural that I purchased with the oxygen absorber in it, because maybe there'll be times that I do not have chicken breasts available and I do not have the ability to make fresh chicken breast strips for him, jerkies. So I will continue to have those on stockpile, and we are rotating him in between mom's and the store-bought. So that way he's doing both. So anyway, that way. And now with me getting a new little girl coming the end of the month. Oh, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. That's going to be exciting. I'm a little nervous. I have to admit, I'm a little nervous because they're both going to be pups. Of course, Ryder is now 10 months old. And I'm hoping that he will be able to help teach the new puppy. And he's young enough to bring in another puppy. I don't think that he would be aggressive with the new puppy. And I'm thinking, whenever we're camping, how much fun would it be for Ryder to have a playmate? I do have the metal little playpen areas that you can set up, and you can add more, buy more, and add more. And that way I know that he's in a safe area, and I can put down a nice mat and then set up his little cage, and for a large play area. And then I also ordered a new smaller, I think the ones I have are the taller ones, and then I ordered a new shorter one, um, that's for smaller dogs. And it comes with the bottom cover that you set down, and then you set the metal cage in, and the cover, the bottom cover connects to the bottom, and then it has the cover that connects on the top, and one half of it's solid on the top and the other half is screen. So that way I know nothing can fly down in. After seeing the large hawk out here that was really watching the pup, then the other day I went out and there was a bald eagle flying right over top of my home. So that made me really want to be even more cautious. Of course, even with my other Maltese that we lost, when we were camping and we had his play area out, because of him being white and pink skin, they do want a sunburn. So we did always have a cover over it. So I want to be also, more cautious, watch my surroundings, know what's around me, what's around my two fur babies. And I think that Ryder will have so much fun having a companion with him when we are camping for a month at a time or longer. And I think that's going to be really nice. Might be stressful for a little bit, but I'm excited. I'm excited and nervous at the same time, but I'm excited. And Mr. Z is very excited. He's the one that kept saying, have you have you picked up the new female yet? And I said, no, not yet. And he said, please do before he gets too much older. That way they can grow up together and be good playmates, good mates, and good companions for each other. So, I think I have been on here long enough. I need to get off of here and start rotating some laundry, getting my bed put back together, going in and doing my kitchen cleanup. Storing my spaghetti sauce, and then laying out the rest of my things I'm going to need tomorrow for dinner. My Philly steak meat and my mozzarella cheese. And I just grated some pepper jack for Mr. Z yesterday, so it's in the refrigerator and ready. And then I do have some mozzarella that I have in this back freezer, so I'm still rotating. And I'll bring that out and put it in the refrigerator, and the Philly steak meat in the refrigerator, and I will be prepared for dinner tomorrow. All I'll have to do tomorrow is to come up with a dessert for Mr. Z. So, that will make it an easy day tomorrow. And tomorrow I am doing a refrigerator clean out. And you know how that is. And when you're cleaning out your refrigerator, that takes a while. You're going to have to take everything out, wash everything, clean everything, sanitize everything, put everything back. So, those are things that I'm not doing online. I'm not going to do that on. I did add some of these recipes for my daughter, me cooking. But there's some things that you just don't want to do online. And no, my refrigerator's not that bad. It's not. Honestly. It's not. That's just not something that I like to share. Okay. So, till next time, enjoy your Monday. And if you've been affected by the storm, I pray that everyone in your family is safe. And if you've lost a loved one due to the storms, the tornadoes, the flooding, my sympathies and condolences I send to you and your family and your loved ones. And please remember everyone that's being flooded right now. I know we're still under a flood warning here, but I'm very grateful that so far we are safe. And but there are so many people out there that this morning do not even have a home to go home to. Either the tornadoes have came through or the floodwaters are up in their area and they've been evacuated. So please keep them in your prayers. And be kind to one another. We need to see more of that. So please be kind to one another. And as always, don't be afraid to go in your kitchen. Try new things. It's fun. Experiment. So, till next time. Bye-bye. Everyone have a blessed rest of your day. Enjoy your Monday. Stay safe. And be kind. Bye, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't too boring. Just me doing whatever I do on a Monday. Glad you joined me. Bye-bye. Oh, and if you haven't yet, like and subscribe if you like the video, and don't be afraid to comment, but be kind with your comments, because I'm just learning. I'm new to all of this, so doing lives and interacting, so please be kind in your comments. And if you have questions, please, send your questions and I'll try my best to answer them. So till next time, bye bye everyone. Enjoy your Monday. See you later.